Say we have Gary Brown on to regale us with all his tales of organic content and just who you are as a broker and what you've been doing. I know we've talked a little bit already, but we're kind of just going to give you a proper introduction to everybody on the call. So, Gary, take it away. What's, name, introduction, where you're based out of, that sort of thing, just Cole's notes on your life.
Sure. So my name is Gary Brown. I also go by Hard Money Gary on all socials. I've been in real estate since 2018. I started out at the ground floor on the wholesaling side. So that's where I learned more about the off-market real estate transaction and the investor world. So quickly underwriting deals and thinking of my buyers in mind. So flippers and landlords actively negotiating contracts with the sellers, but still trying to get the biggest discount possible so that when we sold the contracts, we'd be able to make our assignment fee. But I was doing that for a couple of years and I realized that I was still working for somebody else. And so it didn't hurt that my dad had been a mortgage broker my entire life. So I could see up close that if you're between the people that have money and the people that need money, you can create an income stream for yourself. So I decided to own a piece of the transaction, and that was hard money brokering. I took a $97 course from Lee Arnold, and I might be one of the only people that I know that takes one of those courses and actually goes off and runs with it.
Honestly, as you were saying that, I was just like, oh my God, the courses, and just thought of so many people that we come across and that we know or that we had worked with and been like, no one is ever successful with these.
Exactly. So I can't say that that was the end all be all course, but it was enough information and it connected with me so much so that I could leverage the network that I had established being on the wholesaling side and then just figuring out how to put the pieces together. Lots of trial and error up front. You run a couple of deals and you fail forward, and sometimes they don't get closed, but then eventually a couple did. And then from there, I wanted to discover a way that I could actually grow my brand where people were reaching out to me. And so the initial approach was cold DMing on Facebook and what's up, Joel? Cold DMing on Facebook and just networking through the different off-market real estate groups that were on there. But I realized that I was competing against every other scammy lender or every other lender that just posts their deal card underneath every post and I wasn't getting the right conversations, just consistently racing to the bottom. Now, I talk to you as confidently as I am right now, but it wasn't until 2023 that I actually turned the camera on, facing forward, and started talking about hard money and DSCR loans. It was at that point that I said, I'm going to commit the next 90 days to make raw, ugly, short form content, and I'm going to get better at this, and we're going to see how far I can take this thing. We're sitting here in 2026, and you guys invited me to come here and speak to this group so that you guys can learn a little bit about what I've done and own a piece of this blue ocean of leads for yourself. So happy to chat with you guys, and that's just a little bit about my story.
Amazing. That's a great story. Like even just guess from when you were just doing the posting and being a regular scammy lender, seemingly, like how long did you actually do that for? What was your timeline there that you were just kind of
That was a full year and a half. So that was
okay?
18 months of just grinding it out through the DMs. And that is, fortunately, unfortunately, it was during the 2021, 2022 timeframe where that was what you did. I mean, you weren't going out to real estate meetups to really meet people. You weren't doing a whole lot more than just on the internet. So me addicted to the phone, got my year old, a 2 year old baby that we're trying to take care of, and just grinding it out to build a personal brand that way as well.
Oh, cool. Now are you kind of like a one-man show? Do you have like staff that you work with that gets involved too, or is it just you're forward facing? Do you have processors, other LOs? What's your branch look like?
Yeah, so our organization is 3 people strong. I went through a bunch of different contractors and VAs, but finally landed on a really solid processor from overseas. And then recently in January, brought in an admin assistant to help us make sure that our operational side internally for lead generation and lead intake was there so that when I'm out there doing the content, people fill in the forms and then they book the calls. We have the calls, and I'm just in control of branding and relationships, content, and the sales side of it.
Okay, so when are you actually running ads then, or like your organic content? Let's kind of separate the two then. So
Sure.
do you do both at this point in time? Like, do you have ads and then you're
Right now,
kind of
we do have we started running ads just to see if we could scale, and I'm in the space where it's a different conversation that I'm having than the conversation that you have from the personal brand side. Really, really strong, really, really high commitment from the people that have been watching you for hours and hours in short form or in long form content than your rate shoppers or tire kickers that come from your static image ads or sort of, people that are experienced and are looking for hard money. And because they saw an ad from you, they saw an ad from 10 other lenders.
sure enough. Um, okay, so then when they're filling out the form, I guess, like say you're doing your content, like do you have like inside of your videos, do you put something or like in your profile and it's like what do you do? Instagram, Facebook, everything, like YouTube?
Yeah. So for we're the biggest platform that we have is TikTok right now. And so that is close to 40,000 followers. And we have close to 8,000 followers on Instagram. Both of those bios are optimized with a link tree. And so people can go in there and then book the call directly through my Calendly link. I found that Calendly is a really great tool as both a lead form filter and the best scheduler. Go High Level does have a scheduler inside of it. Google has their own scheduler, but I've just been more comfortable with Calendly.
Yeah, and I think too, it's a really common one. So even people filling it out and kind of it's something that they're
Yeah.
familiar with tools wise. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, how many times have you filled out a Calendly thing? Um, okay, so then the people got directed to your site. I mean, you had all this networking ahead of time. And are you finding that you're just picking up people all the time now, or most of these like, following that you're getting referrals from other people, or like, I mean, I guess you're pretty popular out there, so you get a lot of hits on your ad on your content.
Well, I think that as popular as it may sound with 40,000 followers or 50,000 followers across 3 platforms, there truly is a blue ocean of leads for the real estate investment space. There's a new real estate investor born every day, and there are real estate deals going on all over the country. So, what my approach to the organic and short form is volume, fail forward. Some videos are going to be at 300, 400 views after 2 days being out there. But there are some videos that are so deep in the weeds that years later, people that dug through my profile on TikTok and just sat there from one thing that did go viral, but they're sitting there on their phone, wherever they may be, distracted at work, in the bathroom, cooking, whatever it is, just scrolling, and they'll go to a video from 2024 that originally maybe had 200 or 400 views, now is up to 1,500 or 2,000 after that long a time. And that's the video that then they like. And I'm like, wow, that was from 2 or 3 years ago.
It was in your raw and ugly video stage.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, how has that changed over time? That was the first thing you said. I mean, have you gotten more? I watched your content, but I'm gonna let you have your own opinion about it. Obviously, I've seen a lot of it. Like, how have you kind of transitioned to make it more polished? Or I mean, some of them are really great. Like, you talking to yourself back and forth as an investor and
Yes.
borrower, and like,
So I'll talk about that for a second, because I had worked with like social media consultants, and they would give me these hooks where clearly they looked up on some sort of like Google, like, okay, what is hard money? Because they don't know anything.
Right.
about hard money or DSCR loans, and they're like, okay, what are the features of hard money and DSCR loans? Okay, I have this hook structure, I have this script structure. Let's kind of force it in there. And I'm like, what? This isn't even this. I would never connect with this. And so one day, my cleaning lady was over, and I was just getting a little like, okay, I am a creative guy. I feel like I can do something. And I stood there in my kitchen and I had a conversation with myself that I had just had with somebody out at, just trying to introduce what I do to somebody at a networking event or whatever. And I just repurposed that conversation, did the forward facing camera thing. And then that's the video that got close to 1 million views. So overnight, seemingly, I went from having a platform that may have had 1,500 followers, and in February of 2024, uh, that video went viral, and I went from 1,500 to 10,000 in the next 2 months. But I will tell you that that video is great. It's still out there. We've been reproducing that video in that style for the last 3 years. It has been replicated by other lenders that are hiring other marketing companies. The influence is strong when something goes viral like that.
Hmm.
But what I will tell you about TikTok as a platform, it shows your videos to a brand new audience every single time you post. So your follower count, it can be strong, but that's a credibility metric that's almost dated now
Mm.
because your videos can go out to a new audience every single time. What's also great about TikTok is once you are committed to the platform and you're actually posting on there and they can see the consistency, then you get the ability to go live. Now, going live is the sauce. Joel, I've seen you present at a bunch of different uh, networking events in Philly and in New Jersey and things like that. Imagine being able to pack a room of 15 to 500 people just by turning the camera on and saying what you need to say. Now, the best part is that you get to answer real questions back and forth. People are asking real questions like, what is hard money? What's the interest rate? Can I do ground up construction? Would a commercial property work? Or how do I find the down payment? Where do I find the liquidity? And I have spoken with many, many people that have come directly from live content, filled out the form, we had the conversation, and then we funded the deal within 30 days. So it's absolutely something that if you practice at it and you are good enough and you are entertaining enough, I
Hmm.
mean, there is a talent piece. Some people don't have it, and that's okay. There are other ways for you to be a great loan broker and loan officer without going live on social media.
It definitely, it's not for everybody. I mean, we look at it a lot because we, look at different clients or ads come up obviously because we're in the hard money space.
Mhm.
And I mean, some of the videos out there are really bad. Like just where the, weird camera angle where you're like looking up the person's nose and you can tell that they're reading a screen, but they're not really good at disguising it like a newscaster. So it's kind of like, it doesn't really bring that authentic piece where I've shut them off and I was like, I would never call this person for a loan just because they seem so inauthentic. So I mean, you really wrap in your personality with it, as everyone should. And Joel, you too, like in your videos that we've seen, like I think those are the ones that are the most successful. So I mean, in terms of what people are seeing out there, obviously your videos are kind of getting a little bit of rip offness and some Xeroxing there.
I know, but that's like the highest form of flattery because people will go back
Totally.
to find Gary as the original.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes not. That's
Hopefully.
true, but like people want to deal with you because you started it at the top of the food chain. It's not, they don't really want to deal with the 13th person copying it, right? To
If
his
they
point, I mean, you get your personality in there a little bit and people feel like you're a real guy or woman, it changes everything. I mean,
Yeah, I guess I mean, in terms of the content that you're seeing, like, are you pretty dynamic with what you create, or do you sort of um I know like in an earlier conversation, we've been speaking about kind of the trends and how videos are done or how, all the marketing is
Yeah.
done, and all of a sudden everything looks the same.
Mhm.
So are you kind of always trying to get ahead of that, or like what can you pull out from those new trends maybe, or the ones that you want to get rid of and just be like, I'm done with this?
So Instagram is where I'm focusing a lot of energy right now in trying to grow with what that platform likes. And in I don't know the specifics, but I can tell you anecdotally, since there was the private meeting in the room where it happens, where Meta and Oracle and Google all got together and said, TikTok, you better stop doing your thing. And Meta's gonna, when they got together, Instagram changed. And so they have the Reels platform, and now they have the trials, the trial reel ability. And when you push a video out, a reel on trial reels for Instagram, it will go to a new audience the same way that all videos do on TikTok. So that is something that I have been practicing. Another thing with Instagram is that Instagram being a more older and established platform than a TikTok, the traditional, conventional style for Instagram is more polished. So more production value, more higher quality content does really well on Instagram, as well as jumping on specific trends on Instagram does well. At this moment of the recording in June of 26, 7-second videos with text on screen of you being a real person is crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. So I'll grab some B-roll. If you guys aren't familiar with what B-roll means, it's just filming yourself or filming of something just in its static environment. And then you can either put sounds or
Oh,
text.
like you'd be like washing dishes in the kitchen and it'd be
Correct.
like, thinking whatever, just had your information. Okay, that yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So
now I
that is
have a
absolutely
visual.
crushing it right now. And so where Instagram, I believe, is going is they want to, and where social media is going as business owners is people want to uh, see you working rather than you talking about your work. So, for example, a contractor is going to film themselves with time lapse of them working on something, whether they're framing a house or pouring concrete or doing a roof, and that is going to be what they see. And then the text on screen is something relatable to their target audience. So if it's, sick of that leaky roof and call Joe, but it's actually Joe on the roof hitting the nail into it or with the nail gun. So for us as private money brokers or lenders, what I'd like to see is more people like live action, like showing themselves, talking with borrowers about rates, terms, fees, and structure in real time and sharing that with their audience. Something that I do actively on live. So I'll take live calls with borrowers and broadcast it as kosher as I can without giving out, credit information or personal
Social
identification,
security number,
things like
please,
that,
sir.
as much as I can on live, actively talking about deals. Hey, I see this deal in Indianapolis or in Anderson, Indiana, and Brand is looking to refinance a property that they recently fixed up. They're looking to pull 75% loan to value cash out, and we'll walk through what they're actually asking about. What are the fees? How much can I borrow? I have low credit. Can I bring in a credit partner? Creative things that you can get done that people don't realize you can do with our products. You can showcase and highlight those, and that will sell you as an expert rather than Hey, I'm Gary from Gershom Loans, and we can do things at 100% loan to fund.
We'll just
Okay.
get, yeah, we'll get a video of Joel cussing at his computer as he types furiously. um, that's kind of interesting because when you first started saying that, I was just like, what would I possibly film of me just sitting here like in my kneeling chair, like with too many tabs open and
The kneeling chair.
film that? Okay, great, done.
Yeah, so you're in your kneeling chair, and then you're like the trend would be before my body without caffeine, or my body without with 3 hours worth of sleep. Like the trend right now is like my body on 3 hours worth of sleep, and they're like washing their face or something, but it's actually them doing it in the toilet, like cut to
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah, okay.
So you can do things like that because the kneeling chair is unique to you, right? I don't have a kneeling chair or a standing desk or a walking pad underneath the standing desk. Or if you're one of those people that wants the virtual lifestyle, like you're a hard money lender or you're a DSCR loan broker, but what you really like to do is you like to take your family on camping in an RV. So all you need is a Starlink, and you can do it from the desert or whatever. It showcase who you are, like what is specifically cool or unique or something about you that is different than rates, terms, fees. Because let's be fair, we're all selling the same rates, terms, fees, structured. We're all selling to the same warehouses, so we all got the same stuff. Why does someone want to work with Hard Money Gary? Because they were able to engage with me on live, on TikTok, or they saw my short form content and wanted to reach out. Then we had a real conversation. They
How do
might
you
not
feel
be able to
your
do that.
personality there, I guess, kind of relates to you as a person? So, I mean, you really incorporate humor a lot, and I know that for your platform, that's important. And I think it would be for me too. Like, we're all kind of goofy over here, serious at the same time.
Yeah,
Um, so when you're having your client conversations, like, are you just kind of, I mean, you're just you all the time. Like, do
yeah.
you have like a pretty, relaxed conversation with them? Like, how do you build authority within that in terms of like, yeah, they're seeing you out there, you're a funny guy, you got great content, and then kind of that transition to you being, a very serious, badass money, like hard money broker. What does that look like for you?
It's just knowing your shit.
Yeah.
It's just like uh, saying no is part of the business. And so people will come to the conversation thinking the same thoughts that they would if they were talking to a high ticket closer or something like that. Like, well, can you do this for me? I mean, listen, bro, like I got another call lined up. If you have a deal, then let's talk about it. I don't need to sell you. You booked the call with me. Like, I don't need to
Right.
sell you on this.
On your own pain points, essentially. Like,
Yeah,
you're not going to go through the like, how do you feel if you don't close this loan tomorrow? Like, what would
exactly.
happen to your
We're
marriage?
not doing that.
Well, yeah, will your spouse up and leave if this doesn't get done?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's like, I mean, a huge thing of just really in call selling the personality, which is I think why we're so attracted to this idea of what you do. Because we run a lot of like, picture ads and they work really great. We get, tons of leads and the clients are really happy and everyone's happy with it. But it's nice to have that additional human touch. And that's something that we've always talked to like, great, everything's going to work, but if you can somehow connect that to anything else that you do, either your website or your Facebook page or a creative name like Hard Money Gary, great, that's easy to remember, versus like property and like funding California private whatever, like these names that come out. So it's like just something to really attach those things. So I mean, like, do you have like a website, a landing page, or is it just
Yeah, we got hardmoneygary.com, and that really is kind of raw. It's built out in GHL. It has three links on it. It's the application. It's if you want to learn how to broker money, you can join my school group. And then I think the third one is to get my free DSCR loan guide. And then I have my credibility company website, the actual company that goes on the HUD, Gershom Flip and Rental Loans. You can go to that website. It's very standard, got branding colors green and blue like everyone else, and we got listed for fix and flips up to 100%. We got transactional funding and DSCR loans listed on there, and I'm treating my website and credibility based off of social media. So I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit new school in that respect. Is that like, okay, you want to make sure that I have a website. That's what I'm treating the conversation. You want to make sure that I have a website,
yeah.
whether or not my website is the same as like a Kiavi where you can go in there and do a calculator, or the burnloan.com website where you can go and do like a calculator and pull off a quick quote. As a broker, that's no advantage to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no advantage to me having a calculator on my website because, okay, it's the same numbers you were going to get if you were going to go to any of those other calculators. You're going to work with me because you need my personal touch, or you don't like your current rep, or you want to change things up, or you're brand new and you want a little bit more education over top.
Yeah, and you want plan A, B, C. I think that's like the number one selling point for a broker.
Yeah.
It's just then that's come across a lot. And we've had, because our website, even though it doesn't say that we're direct lenders, but people will come in and contact direct lending. I'd say, oh, actually, we're a brokerage. No, I don't want a broker. I need to go direct lender. And I was like, all right, gave her a few options, nothing. 3 months later, calls back and I said, yeah, you called into the office. We would love to help you because Lima One was no longer doing that area. And it's like, I think that people get used to one lender and then think that they don't need the extra help. So I guess having all of those, like, are you presenting that sort of information about like you're very direct that you're a broker, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Do you produce content about the importance of a broker or that sort of thing, or like why, it's a safe bet or
So when I was wholesaling, I felt like it was a secret that I had to keep from the seller, that like, "Ooh, I hope they don't find out about the buyer because otherwise they're gonna find out I'm making money." But when I started just like being open about it, hey, I'm a broker. I work with nationwide institutional private money lenders. We mainly work with 4 different funds and a couple family offices across the country so that we can provide cost-effective capital regardless of the market that you're working in. Then if you're just upfront and transparent about it, then the people that don't want to work with brokers, the reason why they don't want to work with brokers is because those other brokers were jokers. They tried to commit to terms that they could never find or fund. They were trying to overinflate every single thing. They were delivering term sheets at 15% and 5 points, just to take advantage of somebody's newer experience. And those are the experience that people have labeled with brokers. But if I say that I'm providing cost-effective and competitive terms, and I legitimately say that, then yes, they can be okay with the broker, but understanding that the life cycle of my clients might be a little bit shorter than if I were a direct lender. So if I'm working with a client maybe 2 or 3 times across their lifespan, versus a direct lender that might be able to still cut pricing or cut origination or do something a little bit more for the client than I would on the pricing side to keep a client, just because of the nature of the business.
yeah, definitely. Um, and then I guess you have a lot of referrals now and repeat clients,
Could
like touching on that.
I
Like
ask you a quick question? How
Go for it.
long have you been doing this?
2021.
Good. Thank you.
um
You must have asked that for a reason, Joel.
Well, look, we work with people all over the country for a really long time. Very few people I've interacted with, besides Alex, have actually just understood all the things that you understand. And one of the most important things I feel from listening to you for the last 25 minutes, it comes through that you understand what you're doing. You're not trying to be something you're not, and you're offering people information. So you're leading from service. Too many brokers around America are leading with 4 points. And when they do that, they have 4 views on Instagram. They never get through 1,000 views on TikTok, and they can't understand why. Like, well, that's not what people want. You're thinking backwards, and that's why you're connecting, and that's how you're getting deep with people. That's all the difference in the world. Because to your point, yes, Kiavi, when they want to beat Joel Kraut, they can beat me every single time. I can't win against them, but I can provide some valuable service to a client where I can build a relationship so I can always compete with them. I'm not going to win them all. And to your point, you're not being delusional. If you can keep the guy 3 out of 8 times, you're happy, right? You're not going 8 for 8. That's not real in our industry. It's just not. But
That's absolutely right.
you just have a much deeper understanding of that. I will say I met Alex when she first started, and where she is now from then is amazing also. When I listen to her and I think about what she's learned and how she relays it and the way she comes across, she says, well, I wouldn't know what to film. Just the manner with which you speak will be calming, soothing, and inviting to people, Alex. You don't understand that because you don't believe that about yourself yet. But when you do, your connection will go through the roof. And he's telling you the truth, right? He doesn't just have a beard because it's cool today, but it's him. It's relaxed. It's who he is. It's part of his persona, right? He's not trying to change or fool or trick anyone, right? To his point, he doesn't have to feel like that wholesaler anymore, where we're all kind of like bobbing and weaving as a wholesaler, like at some point here this is going to explode. But that's not what he's doing. He's providing value to people by doing price discovery, and in doing so, he's adding value to the person. You can go to Lima
Also,
One all you want, but at some point I need a guy like Gary who's looked in 15 different places who can help me.
I'll add on top of that, the bobbing and weaving thing, it's really hard if you start the conversation of we're going to fund your deal, we're the lender, we're the lender, we're the lender, when an underwriter says, hey, we pull the, we have this crazy condition. Well, you didn't tell me that beforehand. Oh, well, actually, I'm working with this company and they're the note buyers. Oh, I thought you were the lender. It's a hard conversation when the conditions start if you don't set up the defer to authority that I call it.
Yeah. It's a hard conversation anyways. I mean, even if, I think the whole lending sphere people don't understand anyway. So even like, broker, the more at the lender, but they're going to sell the note. And even that sometimes like loans have gotten to the end and then the takeout investor and they're like, well, what do you mean? Is this another broker? And it's like, no, there's a very large chain of money. So I think like, again, setting those expectations up front, like, initial doc list, every loan is different. It doesn't matter if we've used the same lender 100 times. They might find something on title or something in your background that they just don't like. I'm maybe going to write you 4 letters of explanation and you're going to sign them and we're going to go. So yeah, the expectation thing for sure is kind of the forefront of everething. But I think no matter how many things you can warn about, there's kind of bound to
There's
be
still going to be something.
just something else. Yeah. We're going to wrap it up in about 10 minutes. So I wanted to get through a couple more questions just for reference for people. And I know that a lot of people are probably camera shy and things like that, but I want to give them some real motivation to start, experimenting with their personalities.
Mhm.
On average, how many warm leads that you get maybe a month through what you're producing, and how many videos does that require you to, or what you do? I mean, a month.
So it's a hard metric to track by way of KPIs, but I can tell you that it's the longevity and how many and volume. So if you can commit to 90 days of consistent posting every single day, you'll find that by the end of the 90 days, you'll have a pipeline of people that are at least curious. I can like pull up my DMs now if you want and have show you like the people that are coming in there. And that can vary. I get slow sometimes. I will get tired of posting. I will get tired of creating. It is a creative muscle, and that's where paid ads can supplement.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm experimenting with right now. So if I'm being consistent and I'm going live for 6 hours a week and I'm posting, 5 to 10 short form videos on 2 platforms, that's exhausting doing it all on your own. Paid ads using Amped to supplement your lead volume, you'll see that you can then refer people to your short form content that you've already created. So a conversation that I had last night. Hey Gary, how do I learn more about this? I literally went into my quick playlist and then sent them the video of me explaining that specific thing that they're talking about, and that video being 2 or 3 years old.
Right. So resharing content is something that you do, like you've, constantly just putting stuff out there. Now, I don't know how it all works. Can you reissue videos? Like, can you repost them? I guess you can, right? It's just, or they're just already there, so there's no point. Like, or you can, like, I don't know how any of it works.
It's so funny that you asked that because last night I was playing around with trial reels on Instagram and something came up and it was of another influencer in a different niche. Just like, if something did well, just repost it. Just repost it. So I took a video that did well 9 months ago, and I was like, this did well on Instagram like 9 months ago. If I put it back into edits, maybe put a different sound on it, shorten it up, maybe that'll be a new organic content enough to qualify. And you know what? We got 10,000 views on it. So
Woohoo.
you gotta
So you
try.
actually have to edit it because you can't really repost it. So you have to kind of like
I
tweak it
mean,
a
they
little
don't
so
want
it's
you.
a
They don't
new,
want because you don't want to get look like a bot.
right.
That's the other thing with TikTok. Uh, when you get good and you talk about money, the scammers are alive on TikTok. I know people that have personally called me, "Hey Gary, just trying to get that Bitcoin from you." I mean, I don't do that.
It's okay, no
I think it's
judgment.
funny. Some people have wired like $2,500, $5,000 to wherever, and it's
Yeah,
real. And I report them, but that platform's really poor at doing it. But you don't want to look like a bot. You want to do organic content and create something new and real.
amazing. I guess might be my last question then before we sort of wrap this up. If you can offer, since you're really good at this, I mean, in terms of some practical strategies for people to employ, so you're not spending so much time, like you mentioned a couple editing tools that you use or the way you film it, like I don't even know, do you have lighting? Do you go crazy like that? Are you still pretty raw? Do you have a mix?
I mean, I'm like to the gills
Great,
with stuff now, but
great.
you don't need it. You don't need any of this stuff. You need your phone, an iPhone or your smartphone, and you need a well-lit space. Go up against a window. Make sure that the light is facing you. Like Alex, that is the perfect lighting that you have right there. So you make sure that your face is lit up, and for do not start with, hey guys, no. You're talking to somebody that's sitting on the toilet. Why do they want to stick around for you? And so you got to start with the info. Like the best thing the one of the best hooks that I have, and you guys can steal it, is if you want to buy a rental property in your LLC, then okay, who are you calling out? What is the deliverable? What can they expect in this video? And
Mhm.
then trailing long enough that that sentence is about 2 to 3 seconds before you finish it. Now you have someone that's into it. And then just deliver on what you can. And by the end of the video, call to action, whether it's comment, save, share, whatever it is.
Okay, cool. And then editing, like, do you have time saving things now that I'm sure you've gotten pretty good at, like,
You
taking,
have to practice. You have to
yeah, it's
practice with
just,
your editor. I mean, and doing it native in the apps is going to help you. So if you're in TikTok, edit the video inside of TikTok and then
oh,
make
okay.
sure that your videos are set to automatically download and then they download without the watermark. Then you can re-upload to Instagram or re-upload to Edits, which is Meta's version of CapCut, and do a little bit of tweaking, not crazy, because you don't want to make it look like you read, like, don't put captions over top of captions. Like, don't do that. But edit a little bit, maybe change the sound, something that's unique for that video on that platform. And if it did well on TikTok, it's most likely gonna do well on Instagram.
Yeah, and there's no issue with that. You can just like post everywhere, right? You can just do the
Yeah.
same thing almost. Okay,
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know, Gary, do you have any kind of final thoughts for us about just any suggestions, anything like lasting impressions that you'd like to leave us? But this is awesome, by the way. This was really informative. I'm so happy to have you on. It's cool to, we usually have direct lenders on, and you're all awesome out there, but it's nice to also just connect with another broker on here and just, see how you do things. Cause like, admittedly, I'm not like a social media person, and I'll
Yeah.
open the Facebook, and
Yeah.
I just get so like I just can't be bothered. So you've given me some inspiration, at least hopefully some other people here too. But
Well,
yeah,
sure.
last
I mean,
thoughts are appreciated.
anyone in the AMPed community that reviews this, I'm happy to uh, talk in front of your team and share with them the importance of your LOs becoming a personal brand, not just for your brokerage or your direct lending shop, but for them as well to be able to migrate through this space if they're going to transition from one lender to the next. I'm happy to come and speak with the team and yeah, share what I have because I know more so than any other one specific demographic. Other lenders reach out to me wanting to collaborate. So I am
Hmm.
your lender's favorite broker.
Well, you're my favorite broker now too. Don't tell the others.
But
Oh,
think
thanks
about
so
like
much.
one thing he said, man. It's unbelievable to me. Gary said the magic, right? If you could do it for 90 straight days, you could be on your way to earning, being realistic, 150 to say $250,000 in year one. And if you stayed consistent in year two, you could definitely double that. Look, I can't tell people how many hours they're going to put in to really drive towards 500,000. But the guy's here. It's not me. It's him telling you it's real. And he didn't say you had to do this for 4 years, 5 years. To my question earlier, how long you were doing it. When you were speaking later, you said 90 days of dedication to be consistent, to begin to establish an individual personal brand. If you're not willing to do that for yourself, man, that's on you. That's a shame.
A for effort.
Alice, I know you
So
have to leave. I just had a couple of questions
Yeah.
too, but so if you need to jump
Sorry.
off, that's fine. No, no. So do you have more questions, Joel?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I was just wondering if you, Gary, if you use anything like ManyChat or something to auto respond to your DMs.
Yes, I do. It's very helpful now with the multiple different platforms and things coming back from older videos that people are reaching out. So yes, but being a human in there is important too. So if you're going to run a campaign, you can do a traffic ad on Meta where you take a reel and then you just like not boost it, but you put some ad dollars behind it, and then you have a ManyChat integration. I would say have people like do a hey, DM me the word this. You can have something go back out and make sure that that thing is real in the first message. Then a human needs to follow up and say, hey, what'd you think of it? And then actually talk about it. Don't just let them have the lead magnet and then leave it at that because they wanted to engage on it's better than text messaging. People are checking the Instagram and their social media more than they want to text their check their text because I'm getting Democrat Socialists of America texting me all over the place or whatever scam is running on texting, but it's far less likely that I'm going to like not view my Instagram DMs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Chrissy, do you want to take over host? I have to leave, but I was been nice hanging out with you, and yeah, I'm sure we'll
Yeah, I
just
got
keep
another
talking
10
again.
minutes.
Okay, so Chrissy, if you want to just take over for a little bit and do the wrap up here.
Yeah, I think I'm the host. Anyway,
Oh, you are the host. Okay, then never mind. I'm just gonna leave quieter than I've been leaving. Bye.
I hope. I guess if we all disappeared, then I wasn't the host. But
All right, thanks again, Gary. Bye,
Yes,
everybody
nice to meet
else.
you, Alex.
Yeah, it's super nice to see you face to face.
oh, I was gonna ask if you've ever I know you've been doing ads. I've been seeing your ads too. They look great. But do you ever run any of your video content as an ad? Because I haven't seen that, and I just think that that could work.
That's what I was saying, the traffic stuff.
Just the
So I did
traffic.
do a little bit of that earlier this year, and that was before I put in the ManyChat. But then we did start to run it, and then we did the traffic to the ManyChat, and the viral content's going to go viral. If you take that, whatever goes viral, and what viral can be, individualized. So viral to somebody can be 10,000 views, viral to somebody else could be, 2 million. So you take that, whatever's successful, and you put some ad dollars behind it for traffic. Meta is better than anything at finding the people that want to see it and engage with it. Now they'll show it to people that just like everything, or people that, share everything. There are people that just like repost shit. Like that's just what their profile is. So if you're looking for people to engage with, oh, I want more people to follow. There are people that just follow every creator that comes on their feed. It's weird. But if you do a DM campaign, then it's going to find people that are more likely to DM.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I didn't know you had a school group though. That's cool. You should do you teach people how to do the content on there? Is it that, or is it just about getting into private money?
So that was a side quest for Hard Money Gary in 2025 is can Gary get into the coaching space? Because there's only so many loans that you can do before you're like, oh my gosh, I can't chase another fucking file. So let's coach people on how to do this. And fortunately, we have brought in a couple of guys that are really doing well. And, I've paid them over $40,000 in commissions over the last year. So I'm really happy about that. And it provides for additional volume that gets me better credits when I'm working with another lender. So no, I'm not teaching about content specifically. I think there's enough people that coach on content. Uh, but if there are mortgage brokers or loan officers that want to do non-QM or hard money or DSCR specific content, I'm happy to coach them.
Nice. Yeah, I think there's not a lot of people in this niche doing it though, like in the private money space making content.
I think
There
he would,
is
I think
there
he
is
would
a guy
crush
who
it, Chrissy, doing that.
Yeah, I think so too. I have a
People,
buddy. Oh, go ahead.
so many people are afraid to pay money to all these other parties that don't, quote, know our space. And you've eliminated that whole question for people immediately. So I think they'd actually be willing to part with the money quickly with you in teaching that.
All
Yeah.
right, Joel, bring me into the Burr loan office and I'll teach all your LOs.
Where are you physically located?
I'm in Chester County, PA, so I can get up to North Jersey.
Oh, we should do that one time just to do something funny together in person, right? Like
Sure.
it'd be good.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Ivan, the hard money man on TikTok, on Instagram. He's got the
There-
best stuff.
There's a few
If
guys
any
that are good, but to Chrissy's point, so many of the coaches out there are going to do exactly what you said. They're, all right, wait a minute. The guy's kind of engaging. I could work with him. Okay, now let me figure out how to take what I normally do and stuff his stuff into it, which, kind of doesn't leave people in a good feeling spot. It feels forced and contrived
right.
versus you just letting it flow and it's all related to what we do. That's the overlay, and people really love that and they dig into it. I think it's a very different approach, and I think you could do really well with it.
I appreciate that. Are you going to NPLA next week?
I'm going to go down Tuesday for a while.
I'll be there on Tuesday, so
All
we should.
right, we'll connect.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say I have a buddy he's in the insurance space and he does a lot of content. He started a Facebook group to teach insurance people how to make content, and he does funny content, and that's his whole thing. He started it last year. He's already making like 300,000 a year just from that group.
That's
So
great.
yeah, I think there's room for everybody, like for that
Chris,
kind
you
of
gotta
stuff.
you gotta get me the intro. I gotta know how he's doing it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Yeah. I mean, I can also tell you how he's doing it.
Tell me how he's doing it.
I mean, he just posts a lot, and then he does go to a lot of insurance conferences, and so and he'll speak on stages there too. And then he just that helps him get the authority in the insurance space with the other agents, right? So it's one thing to be an authority for clients, but then when you become that authority for the other people that work in your space, I guess that's kind of that next level. So I don't know. Are you doing any speaking on stages? Joel knows all about that.
Joel is the man. He knows that.
Yeah, but you haven't done any of that yet.
No, no. I went out to the Jurassic event out in Las Vegas earlier this year. That I met Adonis Lockett, who's got the private money brokering like coaching program down like, way better than I could ever dream of, and I think he's really, really great at sharing how to set up your broker shop. I think I'm probably the only person that's doing it the way that I'm doing it. So it definitely unique.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that,
But I think you're more plugged in with what's happening
yeah,
with the young investor.
For sure. For sure.
Truthfully. I mean,
yeah, the
guys
way
my
that,
age are not plugged in with the 30-year-old, 25-year-old community, and understanding how to reach them on their platforms is a big plus. Big plus.
Joel, this is, you think that it's young people. I am
No, it's all
talking to
people.
people of
All people.
all ages, and
Absolutely.
it's exciting.
Absolutely. Look, every 15-year-old spends all day on Facebook, right? I mean, you're seeing, and then they're learning how to use Instagram, and wow, and then they explode onto TikTok, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you're really right. And I think your timing is really good.
Appreciate it.
yeah. Thanks, Gary.
That's probably what I got today.
Yeah, that was awesome. Really appreciate it. Do you want me to, I think when I post this to YouTube, I can collaborate with you, your account. You want to do
Sure.
that? Okay.
Yeah. It's Hard Money Gary on YouTube. We got 195 people subscribed over there. So
Yeah.
we
It's
need to
harder to
grow
get
that one.
subscriptions over there for sure. Yeah. Okay. I will do that. And I'll plug it into Opus and see if I get any short content and I can share it with you as well. So
Sweet. All right.
awesome.
Nice to catch up with you guys.
Have a great day.